How intentional are you with the words you choose to use?
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?
See, I believe we inadvertently birdwatch more than we wordwatch, because word watching is something we so rarely do. Today we're going to be talking about word watching and 5 tips to word watch well, followed by your challenge for the week, so be sure to watch my words till the very end. Hi, I'm Jeff Teresi and welcome to another episode of Sitting Cross-Legged in a Swivel Chair, where you're given the freedom to sit back, relax, and enjoy the swivel.
Okay, all right.
Word watching? What's that? Could it perhaps have something to do with watching your words? Here's how I define it. Word watching is the process of imagining what you'll say before it's actually said. It's what allows you to filter your words and be as intentional with them as possible. To word watch well, one must become comfortable pausing before they speak, and be okay possibly having prolonged awkward silences.
What?
Now this is something I've struggled with a lot, especially being on the spectrum. Sometimes it takes extra effort to filter my words. Yet I think it's something universal that we struggle with. You know that old saying, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me? That is 100% wrong. Words can not only hurt, they can cut a person to their core. And if you're not intentional, your words can be a deadly weapon rather than a life-saving instrument. They can lift a person up or tear them down. Words are more powerful than most people know. Because of this, I try my best to make it a habit to be music or silent, not noise. Unless it's joyful noise, of course.
Yes!
You see, Scripture says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Now at the same time, I'm hesitant to follow that adage, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. Especially when there's so much of a need for people to speak out against social injustice. Because for far too long, the people being oppressed have had their voices stolen from them. Yet, I believe there is a way to do so that allows for another person to actually hear what you have to say. And it's by no means easy, but I believe it is possible. And while I won't have time to get into the intricacies of that during this episode, I want to share with you 5 guidelines that might help you when it comes to word watching. Number 1, use your words to empower and encourage. Don't disempower or discourage. Number 2, as a rule of thumb, don't use your words to criticize, condemn, shame, or blame. As an aside, I recently heard Brené Brown say that internal shame leads to external blame. And number 3, ask yourself these 3 questions. Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said right now? And does it need to be said by me? And number 4, word watching is hard when you're hungry or tired, both of which can cause your patience to be paper thin. So be extra careful before speaking if you're on an empty stomach or lacking enough sleep. And number 5, use your words to wish others well and be sincere. I'd love to hear your thoughts on word watching. What are some guidelines I didn't include today that you believe would be helpful to follow when word watching? And here's your challenge for the week. Begin the practice of word watching. Before you speak, ask yourself, if what I'm about to say will benefit those listening, and how can I say it in a way that won't fall on deaf ears? In other words, what's the most loving way to say what I have to say? Hey, if you like this episode, you know what to do. And remember, you're not alone. You are loved, and whatever you do, believe in yourself. This has been another episode of Sitting Cross-Legged in a Swivel Chair. I'm your host, Jeff Teresi, and if you'd like to learn more ways to break through to your next big breakthrough, be sure to click on one of the videos on the screen before they disappear. I look forward to seeing you again next week.